we even come to the issue of transparency, another question would be, why now, right? Why are we still talking about this at this moment? Not just still talking about it, but why is it now that this decision is coming to say, okay, release it ahead of the 2027 elections? I spoke about how this has not deterred the supporters of this administration from actually campaigning for the president in 2027. We have a lot of Nigerian politicians moving from other political parties into the APC, and they know that something like this is in the offing, but yet it has not affected the people who would want to vote for him. Maybe in other countries it might have, but in Nigeria right now is not even something that a lot of people are thinking about. And from all indications, it seems that, oh, everyone is ready, gearing up for 2027, and they just want to go to these polls. You'll probably win a second term till 2031. Then we'll start talking about this in person. Would you say that they're trying to heat up the Nigerian polity?
Well, for me, politicians, electors have it in their minds that saints don't participate in elections, that good people don't go into politics. So if you are going there to vote, you know at the back of your mind that you are not going there to vote for an angel. So what people are looking for is the best among the worst. And again, this kind of thing does not necessarily that affect people contesting elections, especially if the economy is doing okay. That somebody has scandals or somewhere does not affect an incumbent, provided that the economy is doing okay. Where it will affect the incumbent is if the economy is in a mess. So in Nigeria, those who are moving to APC are not moving because APC is a good party. It's just because of their own selfish interest. Some of them have corruption cases, and they will not want to go to jail or have their property seized. Then the first-time governors feel that it is only in APC that their second term will be assured because of the way APC is going about capturing states, using the exact word of the national chairman of APC, that they will capture Ondo, they'll capture Oyo, and so on and so forth. So they feel that it is in APC that their second term will be guaranteed. So it's not really that APC is a good party. So what Nigerians will be looking for in 2027 is a democratic rebellion of the people and not of politicians.
Recently, the last time this report came up to say, oh, it will be released in May, the presidency responded saying that the documents that are to be released do not contain anything new. They don't implicate President Tinubu in any wrongdoing. Also, that in fact there's just nothing new in that document that they want to show to Nigerians, so there is no fear on the part of the presidency. But the APC, that is the current administration, the ruling party, seems to have started its own campaigns even before now, ahead of opposition figures and opposition parties that seem not to even be in the loop ahead of 2027. The APC is campaigning more than opposition parties in 2027.
For me, what I heard Adenuga Bayo Onanuga said at that time is that they are going to study it. So if there's nothing in the report, what are you studying? But the truth is that if the report comes out and Tinubu is indicted, because I know how America feels about drug people who bring drug into the United States. At a time, General Noriega, or the head of state of Panama, was arrested while in office. So they should pray let Tinubu not be incriminated or indicted.
Even if that is the case, this is since the 1990s. It's been over 30 years right now. Don't you think that even if that is the case, I believe in legal terms they have what they call like a statute of limitations.
That's
also the fact
years.
that money was refunded If they have any problems with him, don't you think they would have been pursuing him before he became Nigeria's president?
There are so many cases. So for me, report is coming out that's on 2nd of May. That they prayed that Tinubu will not be indicted, because as I keep on saying, Jesus came to forgive sins and not to wipe away history. That he is indicted as a drug addict, it will not be funny for him
it's
anywhere
about drug
in the
trafficking,
world.
not about addiction.
Trafficking and addiction. Understand me? It will not be funny for him anywhere in the world. He may not.
So you feel it might actually destroy his reputation amongst other world leaders if it doesn't affect his chances or anything about Nigerians or the way Nigerians
feel about him. It will certainly will. Donald Trump will never forgive him.
Already, a lot of Nigerians are talking about the fact that when the president travels abroad, he goes to countries like France. He doesn't go to certain other European countries where it's like, oh, these people have stronger economy. These are the people we should be having stronger bilateral ties with. Like, why are you actually associating with a country like France that other West African countries are chasing out of their nation? And a lot of Nigerians are speculating that, these nations do not want to have anything to do with Nigeria or the Nigerian president.
Well, remember that Tinubu had made an attempt to see Donald Trump one-on-one. It failed. Understand me? So if this case comes out, if this report comes out on May 2nd and he is indicted, it's going to affect his reputation, it's going to affect his image, and even traveling out of this country will not be very possible for him.
All right, let's move on in the conversation and actually talk about another situation, and that is about ISWAP terrorists claiming that the deadly Borno ID explosion, which killed 26 residents, that's they're claiming responsibility for these attacks. Apart from Boko Haram, we have this problem of terrorism in Nigeria, that there are a lot of non-state actors going about with weapons and terrorizing Nigerians with different names, from bandits to unknown gunmen to headsmen and all of that. But Boko Haram seems to have retained their base in Borno, no matter how the military tries to push them back.
Well, Borno is vast. Borno has a boundary with a lot of other countries. So they can easily mingle from one country to the other. So that is one of the reasons we have a very porous borders, and Borno is at the boundary between Nigeria and a lot of other countries. So that's a very big problem. And again, Nigeria security is not helping matters at all, because they should have cleared Sambisa forest and they build a military base there. This have been a very big way of chasing them out. Understand me? It will either be they surrender or they run to another country. So I don't know why the Sambisa forest is still there. Nigerian army ought to have cleared there and they build a very mighty army base. Understand? So that they will not be able to operate in that forest. So it's unfortunate that this is still happening, and for me, there's no really political will to vanquish that's all these people. And one of the reasons could be because they still have voters card.
So a lot of them are foreigners who just come into Nigeria and are able to claim Nigerian identity.
I say they have voters card, and politicians don't kill people who have voters card. Nigerian soldiers are said at times, if they want to go all out, an order will come, don't. Understand me? Which means some people that are still protecting them. But they have done what a terrorist always do. we are responsible for this.
It's a lot of situations that are actually going on in Nigeria that I would say is destroying our reputation on the international scene. You recall the time there were reports about USAID sponsoring Boko Haram in Nigeria. This is directly tied to the US right now. And also right now the US is also talking about releasing records about the Nigerian president. What I even wanted to say was, you recall the last time that we saw some document and a lot of sections in that document were redacted. It was almost as if they were erased out. Like, okay, we don't want people to see this part, you can see the other part that doesn't seem to be indicting. How do we know that the documents that want to be released on May 2, it won't be the same thing?
That's what I said.
Or that there will be nothing in there for anyone to use?
That's what I said. Between 2022, when that case was hot up till now, a lot of things must have happened to that document, because Americans are not angels. They are as corrupt as we here in the country. So
you do believe that the USAID was sponsoring the activities of Boko Haram in Nigeria?
One, they give money. They are donor agencies. Understand? They give out money to people, but I don't really know if they have their own people there monitoring what that money is being used for. You might give somebody money and the person might use it to do bad things. Understand me? So, but that they are sponsoring, and for me, it could be indirectly, but not direct.
All right, I want to quickly talk about the sacking of top officials and a major shakeup in the NNPCL. Those affected include, of course, the heads of Port Harcourt Refining Company, Warri Refinery, and also the Kaduna Refinery. Yesterday and the day before, there were reports that the NNPCL was under fire because of the failure of the revamping of the $897 million Warri Refinery. Could this be one of the reasons for the shakeup?
For me, this is no shake-up. This is just removing Medicare arrears people and putting my own people. Simple. Understand? This is just
coming from the presidency or from the new NNPCL chairman?
From the new NNPC. This is my time to chop. Local. Understand? This is my time. So make I put my own people. So it is just corruption being recycled. After all, last year, the president was praising the GMD of NNPCL.
But he's been there since 2019. That's since Buhari's administration.
Yes. So what changed? For me, they felt that he has gotten enough. So it's a time that he exits and another person entered there. So the new guy has not decided that to put his own people. Understand? Many Kiari people should go with him. Let my own people. So
this is about the NNPCL boss Bayo Ojulari and has nothing to do with the presidency.
This is the new Caesar, the new sheriff, putting his own people there. Understand me? If you are now saying it is a shake-up, it's no shake-up. It is corruption being recycled. If eating enough, let my own people come and eat.
Including people who have less than a year to retire, who were told to proceed on retirement anyway.
They are still Medicare arrears own people. So he just wants to circle himself with his own people, to surrender himself with his own people. Let's
look at this report of the Warri Refinery consuming $897.6 million. 897. That's you could approximate this to about $900 million in maintenance costs. This is a refinery that we were told by Mele Kyari last year has come on stream, is ready to start refining. A lot of Nigerians were expecting that the cost of petrol would go down, but we're getting reports that since January 25 it's been closed due to safety issues in its crude distillation unit main heater. Recall that when these refineries came on stream, a lot of people came out to say, look, these people are not refining fuel. In fact, it is something else. It's not fuel at all. The fuel that they are refining there, Nigerians cannot use it. And we had a lot of people from the NNPCL and presidency coming out to say, no, this is not the case. This administration is trying to do something nice. Why do we always seem to give it a bad name? But what we are hearing now is different. Who gets the answer for this if this is not the reason for the sacks?
So for me, Mele Kyari should have been asked to account for his stewardship. Understand me? Saying that you have been removed, you have been sacked without accounting for the country is wrong. Understand me? Because a lot of NNPCL is the most corrupt institution in the country. So when you remove those people, when you sack them, you tell them to account for their stewardship. You tell them to account for their stewardship, because maybe they might have information that might hurt your own interest or your own business. You just tell them, just quietly go. Your sins have been forgiven. And the country cannot grow by that. A country cannot develop through that method. So this revelation now, what are they doing about it? What is EFCC going to do about it? So for me, I know that Warri Refinery, Port Harcourt Refinery, Kaduna Refinery has been a conduit pipe for siphoning our scarce resources. But what has Tinubu administration done about it? Nothing. Because they are also in the industry. They are also partakers of the corruption that is going on there.
So, as it is now, Nigerians have lost the 125,000 barrels per day. That is the capacity that Warri Refinery is supposed to be producing. The Warri Refinery, which has been moribund for decades, which a lot of Nigerians were happy about, that, oh, finally, no more technical issues. We might get to buy petrol for a lesser price. In the midst of all of this, Dangote has steadily been reducing his prices by a few nairas every other week.
Well, Dangote is a sharp businessman. What he's doing is just that to run those importing fuel, they order refineries out of business, because he makes his money through volumes. Understand me? So what he's doing is just to run the other people out of business, and very soon we are going to have a monopoly in the downstream sector.
Isn't it would I say ironic that we have people who are leaving office and then commission what later turns out to be, let's say, white elephant projects before leaving? Because when Mele Kyari was taking people around, journalists and others, to see the Warri Refinery, he said, oh, a lot of Nigerians doubt that this could be possible. When we tell them we did this, they said it's a lie, but look around, we're actually doing it, only for this refinery to pack up in less than 2 months. Also recall Hadi Sirika of Nigerian Air and the whole show and parade he did before Buhari left office and President Tinubu took over.
No, those people have a geographical advantage. Understand me?
You really think so?
They have geographical advantage.
And it's not about connections and affiliations.
No, where you come from first. Where you come from first. So they are Fulanese. You don't
so
harm
they don't get to answer for anything.
They are the owners of the country. You don't touch them. You don't harm them. You don't arrest them. Understand me? They have geographical advantage. Assuming an Igbo man was mentioned there, he would have either been in Kuje prison or in Kirikiri as we speak.
You really think so?
That's the truth. But the owners of the country take what belongs to the country. It's just like what Bakinzuwo said in 1983 when he was accused of stealing 3 million naira then. He was living in the government house. He said that government money is in government house. Understand? That it had not left government house to his own house. Therefore, he did not steal. So the people that you mentioned are the owners of the country. So you don't harm them. You don't arrest them. Whatever they do, you must let them go, because the country belongs to them. That's why I always talk about geographical advantage.
Isn't it shameful that since its commissioning in 1978, the Warri Refinery has not been able to work to full capacity? Is it time to privatize these refineries, give them to private firms who will manage them, or just if there are people who are willing to buy, to just buy them? But then, if we have the Dangote Refinery being private already, we have already licenses being given to other private individuals. If the federal government cannot manage these 3 refineries, instead of spending millions of dollars on turnaround maintenance every month, every week, every year, why not privatize these refineries?
The truth is that those money that government mention that they give, it is not everything that gets to the company. Understand me? A lot of things happen, just like what happens in our energy sector. The contractors are politicians. When you give them money, they will buy fake or substandard equipment. Understand me? So there are a lot of things that goes behind the scene. But Obasanjo sold the Port Harcourt refinery to Dangote in 2006. Understand me? But Adams Oshiomhole, Tinubu, and others pressurized Umaru Musa Yar'Adua to revert all the sale. So assuming that the sale has started in 2006, by now we will not have been facing what we are facing. Because one thing, government is not good business managers. Everywhere in the world, governments are not good in managing businesses. But in the country, it is politicians that parade themselves as business owners. Just like our Gencos, the generating companies and the distributing companies are owned by politicians. Understand me? So when an occasion comes, they will first of all take their own instead of using it for what it is meant for. That's why things are not working in this country. When politicians float companies and begin to take government businesses, it is still government running private businesses.
Let's quickly, because of our time, let's quickly talk about INEC before we leave. INEC held a one-day retreat today in Lagos, and they unveiled 6 digital tools to strengthen Nigeria's election. We have the Collation and Returning Officers Management System, Election Results Management System, Virtual Election Training System, Political Party Financial Reporting System, Election Monitoring and Support Center, and the Electoral Facility Locator. So 6 different digital tools. Recall also BVAS and IREV were unveiled before the 2023 elections, and we were told that on election day this would be used for the good of Nigerians, but a lot of Nigerians said it wasn't. Also, what a lot of Nigerians are calling for is electoral reform. Why does it seem that INEC is ignoring what Nigerians are actually asking for and doing what it feels is best?
For me, the chairman of INEC is just trying to deceive Nigerians. So all these 6 items that he unveiled, is it in the constitution? It's not. Understand me? So even when it is not used, understand, or even when it is used, it can still be challenged in the court of law. They unveiled IREV and BVAS. At the end of the day, they also told us that it is not mandatory that they would use it. So for me, I don't believe in Mahmoud. I don't believe in INEC. I don't believe in INEC officials. Because if it's in a civilized country, Mahmoud should be in prison as we speak.
He should be in prison.
Because he deceived us. What he told us that he would do in 2022 was not what he did. He promised that to release a result in real time. A month after, they are still releasing a result. Is that not a deception? Is IREV not a deception? So what Hadi Msirika did to Nigerians is what Mahmoud Yakub also did. Understand? But because they have geographical advantage, nothing is happening.
Geographical advantage again.
Yes.
Aren't there other people also who you feel have this same geographical advantage you've been talking about that have faced the long arm of the law when
mention
they are
one of them
in criminal situations?
Mention one of them.
I can't recall off the top of my head now, but I think one name Agunloye also. He's been having a running battle
because he disagreed with Obasanjo.
Really?
Understand me?
But Obasanjo is no longer the president. What political power can he wield to push the Financial Crimes Commission to investigate someone?
Agunloye case happened under Obasanjo. Understand me? Agunloye happened under Obasanjo. And why they are still calling on that case is because he is not politically correct. Understand me? He is not politically correct. He's not in the good book of the ruling party. That's why they are still dragging him up and down. Agunoye case did not happen under Buhari or under Tinubu or even under Goodluck Jonathan. It happened under Obasanjo.
Still talking about INEC, the 2027 elections are not very far off, and Nigerians are asking for a number of electoral reforms. Bring me back to my first question when I said it seems that INEC is ignoring what Nigerians really want and doing what it feels is best. What exactly does INEC have to do with the financial reports of a political party, that they are unveiling a political party financial reporting system? Is this to look into how political parties raise the monies that they use for election to find out if some maybe criminal money is going in there? Or for what? The over 300 billion that was given for the conduct of the 2023 general election, has he given account of how it was spent? The money that European Union, American Union gave, has he accounted for it? For me, he just wants to show that he's still around. Understand me? INEC give money to political parties, which is not enough. So parties source for money through other means, through donations from member and parties and so on and so forth. So INEC should, in one word, not be concerned.
They should focus on their own.
Make their money.
They should focus on how to conduct a free, fair, credible, and transparent election.
The INEC chairman came out last week to say that PVCs may no longer be a thing in 2027, starting from 2027 elections, that people can vote with slips, right? If you can just generate the slip to show that, oh, I did register to vote, you can vote without PVCs. A lot of Nigerians have raised the alarm saying, could this be a way to ensure that rigging takes place efficiently in the 2027 election? Is that something you also
Mahmoud Yakub is not going to conduct a 2027
you are standing
election.
on that.
He is not going to conduct it. Before November, an acting national chairman will be appointed, and the person may reverse all the decisions being made as we speak.
I guess we'll wait up until then. Thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 12 this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
I do appreciate you for coming. You have been listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that Trump has celebrated his 100 days in office. FBI, CIA revealed dates to release Tinubu U.S. investigation report. Israel terrorists claim deadly Borno IED explosion, which killed 26 residents, and NNPC sacks top officials in major shakeup. That is a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned. Matters comes up shortly.